Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but before that, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Ben Roethlisberger hits Steelers with eye-opening take amid playoff failures. There is no question that Mike Tomlin is an exceptional football coach. His 18-year, and counting, run with the Pittsburgh Steelers is highlighted by the team's victory in Super Bowl 43 and noteworthy for sustained excellence. Tomlin's consistency is best exemplified by his record 18 consecutive years without a losing season to start a head coaching career. Despite his historic greatness as a leader of men, which includes reaching the playoffs in 12 of his 18 seasons at the helm, some fans are calling for the Steelers to fire Tomlin. This is largely the result of recent postseason failures, as the team has lost 6 straight playoff games dating back to 2016. Ben Roethlisberger, who quarterbacked 4 of those 6 playoff losses before retiring after the 2021 season, offered up his thoughts on Pittsburgh's current situation. You have to evolve as a team. You can't just assume that everybody wants to come play for the Steelers anymore like they used to. People used to want to come play for Pittsburgh because you had a chance every single year to win a Super Bowl, Roethlisberger said via Steelers Nation. Of course, the NFL is a quarterback-driven league. And as Bill Belichick quickly discovered following the departure of Tom Brady in 2020, it's a whole lot harder to win in the league without a franchise passer leading the offense. Unlike Belichick, however, Tomlin has been able to keep the team afloat, never allowing his Steelers to drop below .500. Since Brady defected to the Buccaneers in 2020, Tomlin's Steelers have 2 double-digit win campaigns while the Patriots had 3 losing seasons with Belichick at the helm. This isn't to say Tomlin is without his faults. Perhaps there is something to the idea that his message, after nearly 2 decades, has grown stale. In 15 years since winning Super Bowl 43, from 2009 to 2023, Tomlin went 151-90-2 with 15 playoff games. An unquestionably impressive record. However, Mike McCarthy, who isn't on anyone's shortlist for the Hall of Fame, led the Green Bay Packers and the Dallas Cowboys to a 147-89-2 record with 21 playoff games in 15 seasons from 2007 to 2022. And he currently finds himself out of a job. Of course, McCarthy does have 5 losing seasons over his 18-year coaching career, including his 7-10 campaign with the Cowboys in 2024. It's become trendy of late to lobby for Tomlin's ouster from Pittsburgh. Roethlisberger himself has been vocal about the coach's power behind the scenes, painting him as a deeply entrenched decision-maker and intimating that he's part of the organization's problems. Still, it's hard to imagine players eschewing the chance to join a storied franchise led by a legendary head coach who gives the team a chance to reach the postseason every year. Steelers fans calling for Tomlin to be fired should be stuffed into a time machine and sent back to 2007 when a 35-year-old Tomlin became Pittsburgh's 3rd head coach since 1969. Those fans should then be forced to root for the Raiders or the Browns or the Jets, who've had a total of 27 different head coaches and made the playoffs a combined 6 times during Tomlin's tenure. Meanwhile, the Steelers have reached the postseason 12 times under Tomlin, won 2 AFC championships and 1 Super Bowl title. No, Mike Tomlin shouldn't be fired. Ingrate Steelers fans should be fired. Out of a cannon. Into the sun. Insider names Giants potential sleeper to sign Steelers quarterback. Going to free agency for help at quarterback is usually frowned upon if it's done at the expense of drafting a QB of the future, but the New York Giants could buck the trend as a potential sleeper to sign Pittsburgh Steelers signal caller Russell Wilson. The Giants' status in any sweepstakes for Super Bowl-winning veteran Wilson was confirmed by ESPN insider Jeremy Fowler during an edition of NFL Live, when he discussed the futures of Wilson and fellow Steelers passer Justin Fields. Fowler acknowledged Wilson has made it clear he wants to be back in Pittsburgh, that's his priority. Yet, Fowler also believes that just like Fields, Wilson will have options as well on the veteran market, and the New York Giants could be a potential sleeper for him. Wilson's name hasn't been far from the Giants in the last year, and he remains a proven commodity with the arm strength and mobility suited to head coach Brian Daboll's offense. He's a good scheme fit, but there are still some doubts about Wilson's ability to lead a rebuild like the one the Giants are undertaking. This isn't the first time Fowler has put Wilson on the Giants' radar. It makes sense for the 36-year-old to be a popular name for Big Blue. Wilson's arm talent has endured, particularly when he's attacking coverage vertically and throwing on the run. The Giants were among the teams exploited by both of Wilson's core strengths when the former Seattle Seahawks and Denver Broncos starter threw for 278 yards in Week 8, including a 29-yard touchdown to Calvin Austin III. Throwing deep off play action became Wilson's niche again, per Doug Farrar of Athlon Sports. Russell Wilson with deep shots off of play action? Let's party like it's 2013. Moving pockets and deep shots are how Josh Allen became a Pro Bowler on Daboll's watch when the latter was offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills in 2020. Putting Wilson into the lineup would give Daboll his first legitimate chance to run the kind of offense he wants for the Giants. That's the upside to signing Wilson, but the downside could lead the Giants to another free agent quarterback. Daboll would welcome Wilson's talent for throwing off-platform, but the Giants wouldn't be able to ignore how much he struggled protecting the ball. Wilson has thrown 24 interceptions and fumbled 21 times across the last 3 seasons. Although he supplanted Fields in Pittsburgh, Wilson couldn't make plays when it counted last season. He finished the season 0-5 and threw for over 250 yards just once, during a 28-14 defeat to the Baltimore Ravens in the playoffs. The Giants don't want to catch Wilson on the downside of his career. Perhaps it'd be better to roll the dice on the core skills of Fields as a bridge quarterback. Fields still lacks refinement as a passer, but that's not a problem for another former Super Bowl champion, Matthew Stafford. The latter can match Wilson throwing off play action and on the move, but the cost of acquiring Stafford may be too high. Wilson wouldn't carry the same price tag, but he's still projected by Spotrac.com to earn $38.7 million annually for 2 years. It's well within the range of a Giants team with $47,114,074 worth of space under the salary cap. They own the 3rd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, but the Giants aren't completely sold on top prospects Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders, according to Paul Schwartz of the New York Post. Any doubts make delving into free agency for an established QB with Wilson's profile, or something similar, a logical alternative. George Pickens' dream teammate is this potential Pittsburgh Steelers QB option. George Pickens has a dream teammate, and he might be one of the candidates for the Pittsburgh Steelers to land in free agency. In an interview last offseason, Pickens was asked who his dream teammate would end up being, and he said it would be former New York Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers. "My dream teammate would probably be Aaron Rodgers," Pickens said. Aaron Rodgers or Ed Reed. Something like that. Rodgers will be released by the Jets after they released a statement saying they would be moving in a different direction. Rodgers, who the previous Jets regime traded for from the Green Bay Packers, tore his Achilles in his first game with the team. This year, with a full season, he threw for 3,897 yards, 28 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. However, the Jets finished 5-12 even after acquiring Davante Adams. Pickens' talent is immense, and the Steelers still lack any answers at the wide receiver besides him. So, they either have to move him if they do not want to pay him, or pay him this offseason as he heads into the last year of his contract. However, if he does stay with the Steelers, getting the right quarterback to maximize his potential will be huge for the team. And you, fan? What do you think of Aaron Rodgers' situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.